Hey, it's Barry Bailey here. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about nature's bounty. If you live out in the city, you might want to go take a drive out in the country along some old abandoned roads. There's a lot of nature's bounty alongside the roads that people just drive by and don't notice. Muscadines, blackberries, all kinds of wild berries, bilberries, chokeberries, wild cranberries, blueberries. There's old abandoned apple trees, like where I picked these about 10 pounds of apples this morning off an old abandoned apple tree that was in a field next to the road. And I look for these kinds of things when I'm out riding around in nature and on country roads. You find a lot of nature's bounty, and there's lots of things you can eat, like ramps, creases, pokeberry, salad greens, lots of different kinds of wild foods and berries, nuts, wild pecan trees, walnut trees. The good thing about these wild foods is that they're all organic and just grown naturally without any interruption or bother from people, because they're in a wild state. And there's lots of pear trees out there that go wild, and you just drive by these things and not notice, and some of them will be hanging heavy with fruit, like this apple tree was. And I didn't pick any off the tree. I just picked what was laying on the ground and beginning to rot. And if I hadn't stopped and got those about 10 pounds of good apples here, they would have just went back into the earth and not been enjoyed. Maybe enjoyed by the deer. But nature's bounty is out there, and it will sustain us just like it sustains the Native Americans. And it's real easy to preserve different kinds of things. And of course, up north they have the freeze, and they can preserve foods by freezing through the winter. And there's also sun drying. You can sun dry berries and fruits and vegetables and prepare them for use through the winter. There's also the more modern method of canning. There's the old method of smokehouse, smoking food, meats, salting food, preserving with vinegar. Just all kinds of ways to preserve and collect nature's bounty and keep that harvest. The Indians used to take buffalo meat and mix it with berries, and smoke that buffalo meat, and cure it, sun dry it, and then mix it with berries and different parts of the meat, like the kidney meat and the fat and different parts, and mix it up with all these different berries and herbs that they gathered, and we preserve that and live on it through the winter. Very nutritious food. And so nature's bounty is out there if we just get out there and kind of keep an open eye out for the different good things. And I'm looking forward to picking some wild figs that are growing on the side of the road that I picked some from last year. Very good, huge wild figs. And they weren't wild to begin with, but they just kind of went wild, and they don't belong to anybody. They're just growing on the right of way of the road. And you can also find wild asparagus, as I said, creases, wild onions, wild carrots, all kinds of nutritious food from nature's bounty. And it won't be long till muscadine season here in Georgia, and I notice the muscadines are starting to really produce and starting to hang heavy on the vines. So it's another good nature's bounty. And I think if a person partakes of the all organic, natural minerals bounty balanced by nature, instead of the man-made and man-designed vegetables, then if you partake of these natural foods and bounty from nature the best you can during the growing season, and maybe preserve some of them. These apples keep a really long time in the refrigerator. I've kept them through Christmas by just putting them in the cold storage in the bottom of the refrigerator. And also with different kinds of berries like muscadines, they keep a long time when they're kept cold. and also wild peaches. There are lots of those you find around, and they're smaller, but they're truly nutritious. And so Mother Earth provides for us in many ways, and a lot of times we ignore that, and it goes unnoticed. But she provides a bounty. Nature's bounty is here all around us, and we just have to look for it. Be careful with the mushrooms. I have a friend who wants to show me a nutritious variety of mushrooms that grows around his house, and he said it was very expensive in the supermarket, and I'll get him to show me that very carefully, because you have to be kind of careful and not just pick up anything and eat it out there in nature's bounty, because some of those things are designed not to be fit for humans, especially the mushrooms. I ate some poisonous mushrooms one time. I was trying to get high on them, and I got very sick. I think it's the second closest I've come to dying. The first closest was when I was trying to swim across the Cumberland River, and at the split second when it was fixing to suck me under, I made the decision to go with the flow instead of fight it. And so I was able to grab onto a bridge abutment on down the river and pull myself to safety. But yeah, you got to be careful with nature's bounty. But you know, some obvious things like apples, wild peaches, muscadine grapes, wild. Also, if you live in different parts of the country, like even in the desert, there's a variety of nature's bounty that can be collected, such as the sanguinera, the yucca roots, some very good teas from different herbs that grow in the desert, especially the sacred mint sage that grows out around the Hopi Reservation and Navajo reservations up in northern Arizona and northern parts of the desert. You might want to check with your area for wild foods, and also be on the lookout for those old abandoned apple and peach and apricot and pear trees, and the different kinds of grapes and berries that grow around those areas. So anyway, supplement your diet with these good nature bounty foods. They're all natural and balanced minerals, and they enhance our well-being and our attitude and our overall health to get through the hard times of winter. And we can also preserve some of them through the winter. But just be careful and beware of certain berries and nuts, and especially beware of the mushrooms. Don't want anybody to have a bad day. I wish you all a good day. Wado, talk to you later.